Welcome back to Northwoods Angling. We got Tommy Roberts from Tomcat Rods, the owner, down with us fishing on the St. Croix River. We're testing out the TC2 new Tomcat rods for sturgeon. Stick with us, we're gonna put some sturgeon in the boat tonight. It's small. Feels like a catfish. Or a really, really big mud puppy. No, it's a small fish, but that thing just throttled it. I think it's a twisted little, it's a catfish. Wow. Felt a little catfishy. Here we go. Bass flip it in. Little 20-inch channel cat. Little channel cat there. I'll take it. Yeah. It's one of our favorite species. Not a sturgeon, not exactly what we're looking for, but we'll get it back, get this rod rebaited, and hopefully get a sturgeon. It's a good start. Means there's fish down there. Where there's channel cats, there's definitely sturgeon, so. All right, so here's what we got for a sturgeon setup here on the St. Croix River where we're fishing. We got a standard Carolina rig hooked to a 4/0 circle hook. And as you can see, I already have a sucker head and a night crawler on there. So I'm gonna thread a couple more. The object is to get a bunch of bait on there. And it doesn't matter exactly what you use as far as the meat goes, which would be you know, the fish portion. You can use sucker minnows, you can use river mix, you could use fatheads, you could even use crappie minnows if you want. So we chose to use suckers tonight, and I got a couple fatheads. So show you, put one more crawler on here. You thread it on a couple times, maybe 3-4 times on there, just to make sure that bait stays on there. And I'll show you a little trick that I like to do. I put a fathead or you know, smaller minnow hooked right through the head on the end, usually a live one, so it twitches a little bit down there in the mud, you can see it, and 2, just to keep all of those crawlers and other bait on the hook. So that's the trick that I do. And I'll show you the rod we're using. We've got the Tomcat TC2. It's a brand new rod lineup Tommy put out, and we're testing it tonight. It's done very well so far. Very, very sensitive tip. So we can actually, with a very little amount of weight, we can actually load up the rod a little bit and still feel the bite and still be able to get to him and set the hook. So it's been a really nice rod for us tonight. And hopefully we get a few more fish to show you on it. Biggest thing with sturgeon fishing is it really is a waiting game, and that's you know, especially true for a lot of the big fish species. We've sat out here for hours and hours before we put in our time, so that's what it's about. We're going to put in our time tonight and hopefully put a few bigger fish topside. That's the goal always. But one channel cat, we got a couple mud puppy bites, a couple of yeah, Goldie looks like she's getting bit, but I think we're moving a little bit. We had a little bit of a wind switch, so we're gonna take a little bit of a, I think we're gonna move just a little bit.
Orange, hit it.
Oh yeah, super important to get on them right away. You wanna, as quick as you possibly can, go and start reeling that rod, because when that sturgeon grabs it, sometimes they let it go, so it's real important. All right, I like how these things are handling these sturgeon so far. It's our first time at the TC2 out sturgeon fishing, and I either got a really, really good fish on, or this drag's a little bit loose, but I think it's a good fish. Oh yeah. Tommy, these are working out really nicely. Look at how they bend like that. These things, yeah, ton of backbone. They definitely are playing nice. All right, this fish is moving. It moved to the front of the boat. Now it's moving to the back. That's a great fish. Look at that. Perfect. Getting a little bit wrapped up, and I'm gonna try to get it unwrapped. Oh, dangerous. But there we go, got her unwrapped. All right. You wanna just tail grab her, Tommy? We don't want to hurt that fish getting wrapped up like that. So Tommy's gonna tail grab her. I'll give you a little bit of line. That's a monster. Yeah, that's awesome.
Awesome fish, bud.
Oh yeah. Moved me to the front of the boat, came out of the way all the way to the back of the boat, and then just kind of gave me a good little fight and then came up. Nice wide head on this fish. Not the fattest fish I've seen, but definitely got some length to it. And oh man, these are so much fun.
Dino.
What do you think?
Awesome fish.
Worth the drive for sure.
Absolutely.
Circle hook right in the corner of the mouth, right where you want it. And you hooked her perfect. Right when we saw this fish bite, we hooked it. All right, let me get that around you. Thank you, sir. I'll grab this from you. I'll show it to you. All right, switch with Tommy here. We got the enclosure up today because it's brisk. It's about 30 degrees. I'll show you the sturgeon right there. Beautiful, beautiful fish. Gave me a heck of a ride too. So we'll get this fish back, get it rebaited like we always do, and wait for the next one. Tommy, the next one's you. All right, here we go. We'll get a nice release on this fish so it can swim away nice and healthy. Look at that, nice big old lake sturgeon on the St. Croix River on the TC2 Tomcat rods. Those rods were fun. They definitely were bending. Thing bent all the way in half, really sensitive, felt the bite really nicely, hooked the fish perfectly, and that's the result right there. All right, that was a nice wave. Tommy, next one's you, buddy. Let's get those baited.
Yep.
Tommy! Is that it?
All right, so I'm watching out for the anchor up here. We were kind of not paying attention and he hammered it. And I don't think he's huge, but still such a great fight.
Oh,
These
yeah.
things are just built to stay on the bottom.
All right, swing them over here. I can come up there and I can actually grab them for you.
Okay.
All right, Tommy.
He's got a lamprey on him too, which is kind of cool.
Cool. That's so cool. There we go. All right, I'm gonna hand them right over to you, Tom.
All right. Awesome fish.
Sweet.
This is actually my second sturgeon ever. I don't get to get down here much. I took just a random trip down here, kind of a spur of the moment, to come fish with these guys. And what's coolest about this to me is this little lamprey. I don't even know if they come off. I think.
Yeah, he like moved over a little bit.
I'm sure that was
right
from
there.
Yeah.
So cool. Hey, get that thing unhooked. That's awesome. Great fish. Oh, fell off. No, look at, there's two spots of it. That's crazy.
All right, let's get this fish back in the water. Good and healthy, like we like them.
That's a nice one.
Thanks, Pete. Lamprey free.
Love
Back
seeing them swim
home.
away.
There she goes. Awesome. Let's do it again.
Man. It's a
Thanks,
good
Pete.
second sturgeon. Let's get you a much, much bigger one. Rebait that rod real quick. Yeah, Tommy. Well, Tommy, that sweatshirt didn't bring us luck tonight, but I think we should pack it in. It's getting late, it's getting windy. What do you think?
I think that's a good idea. We caught a few though.
We did. Nice, respectable
Nice fish.
few sturgeon tonight, but that's what happens. Sometimes you get a couple, sometimes you crush a whole bunch of fish. So from Northwoods Angling to you guys out there, thanks for joining us. Don't forget to check out tomcatrods.com for all the rods we're using tonight. Thank you. We'll see you next time.